explosive and diverse offense combined with a physical, punishing, relentless, suffocating defense.
Nice. Hey, Sooner fans. When the man speaks, he tells us how it is, and they delivered. They delivered Friday night. OU's first game's in the books. To no surprise, a little 51-3 victory over the Temple Owls. If you just looked at the score and didn't watch the game, you'd be like, man, offense went out and had 600 yards of offense, and Jackson had 5 touchdowns. We ran all over the field. Nope, that's not how it played out. So,
Yeah.
hey, a 50-point win's a 50-point win. So, first game of the year, you're not nobody's won a national championship in August, and so I think we all have to keep that in mind.
Yep.
And if your first game's your best game, that's not good for things to come either. So,
Right.
yeah, great win. A lot of good. I know that we're going to get into here in a little bit. Before we do that, let's thank our sponsors out there. Woodworks Distillery. Yeah, I got my glass here. Got my glass. Hey, and my dry August is over, so I can actually fill this glass up.
Oh, nice.
Go check out the group over there at Woodworks Distillery. Got some great bourbon, vodka, gin, just all the good stuff. Go try them. Don't take our word on it. Yeah, go check them out. And you got your liquor store there.
Oh yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah, 9 East Liquor.
Yeah.
9 East Liquor, south of Highway 9. Coming on in. It's your first stop, man. If you're coming on that Highway 9 to the stadium, it's like the one and only liquor store right there. So you can swing by and grab some Woodworks, and they've got really a great selection of whiskey and gin and vodka, and of course all your beers and seltzers. So go in there and say hi to Zach. He's a cool dude. He'll get you set up. I like to go in there and get my Woodworks and my seltzers.
Yeah, I'm not a big seltzers guy. It's too bubbly for me.
Oh yeah, carbonation. Yeah.
Um,
I like it.
yeah,
It's
or
refreshing when it's hot, super hot.
oh
But
yeah,
this last
great.
game was the weather for this game was awesome. We had a nice
Yeah,
breeze. It was
yeah.
sunny, but it wasn't overwhelming.
No, it wasn't your typical August scorcher like we
No.
normally have. So I'm glad for you and everyone else that went. That weather turned out pretty good. Um, so where do we start? Just a good solid win. I know there was some new faces out there that we were really looking forward to seeing on both sides of the ball. Not good. You got some highlights here.
Oh yeah, this is all the defensive snaps. So lots of fun.
Yeah, they, um, man, that Temple offense was not
It was pretty bad.
scary at all.
No,
So
they couldn't do anything.
no,
They couldn't do anything. They were lucky to get the ball across 5 yards. Um, you know, they gave us maybe one. I mean, at least they didn't fold. Like I didn't feel like they like ended up folding the game. Like they were still trotting out different formations and stuff to
mm-hmm.
try to get something going. It didn't look like they gave up like some teams do. Like they were really trying to find something, but you can't find anything in the middle of this defense. The interior defensive line had a
Yeah,
hell of a game.
yeah.
Grayson Holton had a great game. That middle of that defense. All right, sorry,
No,
Jake.
I agree with you on the interior defensive line. Yeah, we kind of expected, the two starters, since they're the starters, Dominic and Jaden, to play well and show out. And man, Jaden, good as advertised. He does not look like a freshman.
No, he played pretty well, man. I think it's good to give him his reps early. He might, he's earned it through fall, and he could develop into a really dang good starter here in a few weeks. I hope he gets to start against Houston too, and Tulane. But Halton had a great game. Halton
Yeah,
was all over the place, man.
he
They
was.
had him inside, they had him outside. One of the plays I want to break down is one of the Halton plays. Schematically, what they did was pretty neat for him specifically too, which was I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, defensively, I mean, we played a lot of cover one. We played a lot. I mean, which is what you do when you can beat up on your opponent. You just man up, put a single high, safety, and be super aggressive, like right here. We showed this quarterback a lot. We put 7 guys in the box and drop 3. We would put 7 in the box and rush 4. I mean, like it was a pretty cool display of watching a veteran defense kind of just have fun. I mean, that's just what these guys were doing. They were just having fun.
Yeah, you could tell they were playing free, and they were tired of beating up on one another, and just went out there and took great pleasure in to take it into some other team. Yeah, Halton, Terry, Dominic and Jackson. I hope that and of course Marcus Strong came in late, and Sanders came in there and made
Yep.
some plays too. If we have
I think Strong sealed the game. I think
he did with that sack.
took the
He had
his
those
sack.
back-to-back sacks. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, if we have a really strong rotation of 4, and then a backup of the other 2 guys, that's really all you want once conference season starts up. So hopefully those guys can just keep rotating and getting those reps, especially for, Jackson, of course, being the young guy of the bunch.
And so now seeing this defense live and seeing the physicality that they're bringing onto this Temple team, does it make sense that our O-line might be a little bit banged up?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, like
100%.
I mean, it makes sense that our offensive line's a little bit banged up and had, quite a camp when these guys were just tossing Temple around like rag dolls. Yeah, it makes sense that they had a physical camp because this defense really came out and showed out on Friday night, their physicality. And I think that's what everyone's hyped up about. I mean, when was the last time you saw a defense that was this physical and actually like started and ended a game?
Can you go back one play? I know it's hard to do here on video. Go back one play. Was it this one? No, there it was. I think that was a Jaden Jackson tackle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, so,
the guy, the guy has
he's
some feet and he can move, man.
They're doing this like little tunnel screen, isn't it? Is this the screen? Yeah, see this is a little screen and he's recognizing it and he's not moving up. He's literally following through with it and he goes over and makes the play. I mean that was one play. There was another play where you can just see that he's smart. He's a smart player. Like and you don't see him get washed. You're not seeing him getting blown back. He's actually he's got a lot of functional strength. I was going to actually ask TFB if he's got like a wrestling background or something because
he's two tree trunks for legs, man. He's just he's built like you want those guys.
Yeah. Now this defense was fun to watch. Linebackers did great. I think out of the 4 plays that I counted, 4 or 5 plays that Temple quote unquote got us with like a 10 to 15 yard play, there was some rub routes or some shifts to space. I think Kobe McKenzie missed a play because he got caught up in traffic and couldn't get there, and it was an easy 15-yard pickup. But I mean, this is just your discipline. This is years of experience. A quarterback that can't throw the ball, and they are super aggressive. Zach Alley did not call a conservative plan because we can, and we're just gonna sit back our corners are gonna play 8 yards off man, and we're just gonna read and react, and with our athleticism come from depth and make plays. And No, this was
Yeah.
we are going to beat their ass. We are
And I
going
think,
to beat
yeah.
them
And I think
physically.
that just, yeah, I think that helps a defense. Like if you have one of those defenses that's capable of being top 10, top 15, just nasty defense, you want them, you want to turn them loose a little bit. You don't want them to feel complacent and just kind of sit
No.
back on your heels. You want them to learn to become who we think they can
Yep.
be. And that's just a nasty defense that is just lighting people up and getting in the backfield. And yeah, they look good as advertised. I don't know what my expectations were for the first game, but I felt like they lived up to what I thought they were going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to expect this same defense for the next 2 weeks. Tee off and go. Show no mercy, show no respect for these quarterbacks. We gotta keep working on our little soft press there with our corners. We're gonna have to win 1-on-1s with Tennessee. You watched that Tennessee Chattanooga game. That veer and shoot that they run, it's lethal, man. It's gonna put these DBs, gonna put this back seven in conflict all over the field. They need
That's
to learn
okay.
how to
That's
be
okay. Yeah.
aggressive and win
Yep.
1-on-1s. You got to put them in 1-on-1s. You see all these soft presses up there. Those corners on the outside are 1-on-1 pretty much the entire game. Whether it's Jacoby Johnson, Gentry Williams, they were asking them to take receivers out, and they need to get used to that mentality.
Yeah, I was glad to see Jacoby get some reps. I'm pretty high on him, of course. I mentioned him a couple weeks ago, and a guy we hadn't made it to yet. We talked about the backers, and I know you're probably getting ready to talk about him because he's one of your favorite players. Is Dolby? He
Oh,
did his thing.
Oh
He
yeah.
did his thing, just all over the place.
Yeah, he's so good at blitzing from depth, man. He could come from 7-8 yards away, and all those angles, right? I mean, that is so hard for an offensive line to see or a back to see a guy who's 8 yards off the ball, and he times his blitzes really great. But once he gets going, he covers so much ground so fast. They didn't start doing that with him until late last season. It really became a weapon for them. And now they're starting this year off like, hey, we got this guy who could blitz. And you also got Kanik. I always like Kanik's blitzing ability too.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you got Stutzman and Kip that are good too. But you've got a lot of great blitzers that you can mix and match from different spots and get creative with. And Dolby had a great game. He's gonna have a great year. So
He is. He is.
yeah.
It was nice seeing Sammy Omasigo get some good run. I thought he got caught out of position a couple of different times, but he just looked good out there, and he's got the frame of a linebacker. He's built a little different, of course, than Dolby, but it was nice seeing him get a lot of run. I liked. I think I heard we played 84 guys.
Oh wow.
On Friday, yeah, which is
Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, right? In games like this, we've griped about it in the past about guys not getting, lots of reps, and I felt like we did almost as good as we could have done. I would have liked to maybe seen Arnold get out of the game a little earlier, just because I felt like he was taking some shots that he really shouldn't have took this game. And I'm not talking in the pocket when he'd take off running, just lowering his head. And I'm kind of like, I don't think we're there yet. That's not one of those games, Jackson. Right. But I know we'll get to some of the other positions later. We're focused on the defense right now, but I think those safeties played good. Bowen, Jennings, Boganowski, when he came in, I'm probably leaving a couple of guys out. I think Power saw a lot of run too. And, RSJ did a RSJ thing, hitting a guy out of bounds, knocking him into the equipment over there. But that's just his aggressive nature. You can't turn him off. That's just who he is. He flies around, and sometimes he doesn't see the sidelines,
Right.
I like.
Yeah, I rather try to reel a kid in than
Yeah.
force him to be a dog. He's a dog already. He's man, that safety room's gonna be great. Bowman has really turned it up a notch. Again, I think it's a little bit of the quarterback that they were playing against. The what was his name, Forrest Bucker or something, Booker,
I don't know. I
Buckner,
just think Forrest Gump. Whenever you say Forrest and a quarterback,
Yeah, yeah, he was not good. So you were able to go into cover one and just man up on people and be super aggressive. And Bowman took advantage of it. But yeah, that defense looks great. They're healthy. I hope the Son is going to be coming around the corner here in a few weeks. I'd like to hear some news on where he's at.
Mhm.
Amasigo looked pretty good. I mean, he almost got a sack there. He almost got a TFL too. What do you have his stats by any chance?
Yeah, just a second.
I'm just curious. He popped on film a couple of times because he was getting some pressure there. He kind of he was in the mix of stuff. Other guys just kind of beat him to it. It was almost like a race on who was going to get the TFL or who was going to get the tackle.
Sammy
Doesn't it feel like that? It just felt
No,
like once the
I'm with
play
you.
like it was like who's
Yeah.
gonna get it?
Yeah, he had three total tackles, and he had a half a tackle for loss.
Yeah,
So
there it was.
Yeah,
So he got a
must
half.
have. Yeah,
Okay.
he shared it with someone.
Cool. Okay.
So no, he was. There was Stutzman, Lewis, RSJ, Lewis Carter, Jacoby. Like Lewis, RSJ, Lewis Carter, and Jacoby all had 4 tackles that were behind Stutzman with 6. And then you
Nice.
had a whole bunch of group of guys with 3.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, RSJ was seeing his name up there at 4. That surprised me just now because I hadn't looked at the player stats just yet.
So what is one thing that you would like to see going into Houston Tulane before we get to Tennessee?
Yeah, so, we're talking defense only.
Defense. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't see much from the edge group. We've talked about them in the offseason. It was great seeing RMT out there. He was making plays, and Downs was, they're all those guys, they're making plays. I just want to see now that we're moving up a little bit and, as far as like an opponent with a Houston offense that, they're good. They're not great. Donovan Smith, isn't that their quarterback?
Man,
Does
I
that
have
sound
no
right?
idea.
It's Donovan something. I might have made up Smith. But I would like to see our edge guys, get a little pressure on him this week. And then just for the rest of the group, really just some sound football. I don't want to see guys, 2 guys bunched together because some guys in the wrong spot in a zone
Sure.
or
Yeah.
just those big chunk plays, just limit those.
Sounds
I
like
guess
you just want more of Temple. It looks like you just want more Temple.
more
with a little
tempo
bit more
with a
edge.
little more edge pressure.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Really. It's hard to improve on 6 turnovers. Actually 5 by the defense. How do you improve on 5 turnovers?
I have no idea. You can't. No, you could. Houston looked pretty bad. Saw some highlights of that game. I didn't get the chance to watch it. Here, let me show you one play that I liked out of the defense. This was just one of my favorite plays that I was watching, and I thought was kind of cool. So, this is 3rd down. This is like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, or whatever. So you've got Temple here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. You've got OU with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what this is what they call a simulated pressure or a sim pressure. And in SEC, a lot of like Georgia, Alabama, they run all kinds of sim pressures. Georgia, especially last year, ran quite a bit because of all the DNs that they went to the NFL. Aranda at Baylor loves his sim pressures as well. And all about sim pressures is a 4-man rush. But according to the offense, they have no idea where it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do, so this is trace forward here. This is Trace Ford at the defensive end. You got Grayson Halton at 4I. You've got Jaden Jackson here. I bet it kind of looks like he's at a 2, maybe. And then you've got Ethan Downs and you got Kobe McKenzie. Now, because this offense was, they couldn't throw beyond 10 yards, they're running a mesh route here. So you got a tight end, wide receiver, and this running back's going to step up and pass pro. It's a little RPO. This is a great call at a great time because even though it's 3rd and 10, I'm assuming Allie calling this call because when he was at Jacksonville State, he did something somewhere. Trace Ford's going to drop into this low hole here. Kobe McKenzie's going to turn around and collision this receiver. He's going to break off timing. Everyone else, he's manned. Bowman's manned. Man. But as this mesh happens, Stutzman's going to blitz. He's going to go. He's going to drop out. He's got man on him. He's dropping to the low hole. Now you went from 7, and now you rush 4.
Yeah, but like you said,
So
they don't know where it's coming from.
No, they don't know where it's coming from.
Ordinarily, it's those 4 in the center in this case.
So again, Trace Ford, he's going to kind of shuffle into this low hole. The reason why you do that is our RPO game. So he's sitting here, he's reading the quarterback's eyes. He's kind of like you want to call him, you don't call him really a quarterback spy, but he's sitting in this low hole here looking for that RPO, and he's looking for the mesh. And then Kobe McKenzie, this is another thing about the OU defense, they prepared the hell out of Temple. Like, they were reading their minds. So to be on 3rd and 10 and to run this type of sim pressure this far out from first tells me that they've seen this formation. They saw the tendencies. They were expecting something in the middle of the field here. And when he drops to the low, Trace Ford drops to the low hole, Halton from the 4I comes around the outside arc, which is really hard to do because the 4I, you're inside. Now you got to fight across the tackle and go up. But because they had this look here, Temple shifted their protections to the outside, expecting more, pressure on this side. So it left Grayson Halton 1-on-1 on the tackle. So let's let it play. And he beats his guy and gets the sack. I mean, and here's another great look at it. So again, he's dropping a little hole. He's a rat player. Kobe drops out. He's going to collision this guy. Bowman's locked up on him. Stutzman's coming in to collision. Now I want you to take a look at the running back and these two guys. Freeze it. Now you got 4-on-2. That's exactly what you want. You want to get as many blockers on one side, you got 4-on-2. Yeah. Then you got a 1-on-1 here and a 1-on-1 here.
Yeah.
And who gets there first? Halton does.
Yeah, everybody's occupied. Yep.
Everyone's occupied. And here's another look. So here's another where everyone's up to the line. You got Dolby here. You got Caden Woolard. You've got RMT. You've got Dominic Williams. And then Kobe McKenzie and Kip Lewis. And this is, again, quarterback goes from seeing that last play to 2 plays later seeing this. You don't know, is this a sim pressure? Is this, like, who's coming, who's not? They all back out, and this is just simple cover 2. And this up here is simple cover 2. And these guys are just kicking him. Kobe's watching the eyes. Quarterback throws it. Dobie gets to his spot, makes the play. Tip drill. Connie gets it. I mean, like, that's just really great defense. Really executed very well. Very clean. Very, very great execution from a veteran defense. It's kind of stuff that you don't really get from a year 1 or year 2 defense on the first game of the year. So as they're showing these type of skills in the first game, they're going to be able to build on even more variations through the season.
That was almost a great interception there by Bowman. I wish he would have held on to it. Flipping over like that. Yeah,
So here's an
if our front's disruptive in that, the last play that you showed, I think is the things we're going to see more against the Tennessees and the teams like that, dropping back a little bit in coverage.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we can execute in that and polish that up these next few weeks, I think that'll bode well for them.
Yeah. So here's another pressure. This is just a straight 5-man pressure. So now, like, okay, you might drop 4, but now we'll just come at you with 5. So is 4 coming, 5 coming? You play with the numbers game. You mess with their protections. You figure out what their tendencies are to the boundary, to the field, to the back. You find that protection scheme. Then you can start making calls to get you one-on-ones to win.
You got the offensive highlights rolling.
Yeah, I'll stop. We'll get into that in the next episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, what they're putting out there right now in game 1 is pretty awesome for a D, and they're going to end up creating more and more variations. Those kind of plays, SEC loves their pressure game. Kirby Smart is one of the best DCs out there, and his pressure package is awesome.
Yeah.
And
we got reminded once again Saturday on Georgia's defense. Clemson's offense isn't great by any standard, but
right.
Georgia just came out and
Yep.
We held Temple to 3. They held Clemson to 3. I think that's a little difference there, but
yeah,
Georgia's good.
Yep.
Yeah, let's wrap this up and move on to some other position groups. Everyone, thanks for joining us again. We'll be back. The season has started, so you'll see our face plenty here the next 10 weeks. So until next time, Boomer Center.